Hello, survivors, and welcome to another episode of Will You Survive?
The podcast.
In this episode, we are going to be blending some popular culture with tactical thinking and survival.
Popular, that's a bit of a stretch.
Oh, it's popular as hell. We are going to be talking about Shaun of the Dead. We'll just call this episode Shaun of the Debate. Our co-hosts, you guys know them. They're TJ and Eric.
It's me, TJ.
And it's me, Gay.
Oh, dang.
I'm gonna
More like Shaun of the Mid.
Shaun. Yeah, you're right.
Wow. Okay, well, you guys are going to be
Start
arguing
agreeing with you on everything.
This is a debate over whether or not Shaun of the Dead is a masterpiece. For those of you who don't know, Eric does not believe this movie to be a masterpiece. TJ does.
That
That'd
is
be
an
accurate.
absolute lie, Your Honor. I would like this to be stricken for the record.
No, it's
He's
not a lie.
He's
I'm
committing
right.
to it now.
We reverse the roles on them, and we're going to make them argue their opposite points. So Eric is going to have to prove to me that he believes this is a masterpiece and why, and TJ is going to have to prove it's not, also backing up his points. Can Eric defend the brilliance of this movie that he doesn't believe?
Okay. I wanna. I'm gonna present a pre-game defense for those of you who may not have been around for a while. You were just born. Alex makes some intense questions at times, and a lot of times they make me feel like I'm back in college. And I work a very demanding job, and I have a pretty demanding side gig, and I have a new puppy, so I'm very busy, and I'm tired, and I don't have time for homework.
Excuses.
And I've
They're all
read the
excuses.
questions.
I got
the
a
questions.
demanding job and 2 new cats.
But TJ is a lot more prepared for this episode than I am.
I've got a demanding job, 2 kids.
So
Yeah, but you're
my
like
whole
adult
point.
plus. You can't really talk, Alex.
Yeah,
me and
that's
him are
not
talking.
fair.
When we so we need somebody, something's happening. Get an adult.
But see,
They don't come to us. They go to you.
I am old.
That's true.
So I'm tired.
No, you're experienced.
But I'm tired.
No. Seasoned.
The centuries of the centuries of seasoned. A good band name. Right.
Okay, continue. Finish your excuses. Reasons.
All that to say, that if my defense of this movie is very poor, although I don't think this movie is a masterpiece, at this point it's a little more out of ego, but I will say I kind of viewed this movie in a little bit of a different light this watch, and there was some parts of it that I might have overlooked before that are, when you look at it as different than the way I was looking at the movie the first couple watches, it's better. And it's funny. I've never thought it wasn't funny. I just thought it was really corny, but I kind of ignored a lot of the nuances of the movie, and I saw them this time.
So
I've never hated this movie.
I know, but with that, we're going to ask the question. I'm going to ask again. Can Eric defend the brilliance of a film he doubts? Can TJ dismantle a movie he loves? We're going to finish this off by asking the question, do either of you think that you would survive the zombie apocalypse if you were either led by Shaun himself or if you were Shaun?
Oh, no.
With that, let's get the show on the road.
Oh, I thought that was a question.
No, that'll be for the end here. Okay.
I know my answer.
So having watched the movie, we all watched the movie long before this take, but we all watched it with these questions in mind. So I'm going to ask, this one's for TJ. Well, let me ask Eric first. What makes Shaun of the Dead a timeless masterpiece of horror comedy?
This movie perfectly blends the horror genre with the comedy genre to a point where even when there was horrible things happening, such as who was the guy who got ripped apart?
Ed or
No, he got pulled.
David.
Even when that's happening, which was a pretty graphic scene for a comedy movie, they immediately follow it up with, I thought it was kind of funny that his wife barges out there into certain death, but it's just, I don't know. It perfectly blends that kind of horror comedy, kind of the genesis of it all. And I think that's kind of what makes it a timeless classic, is that it was, I believe, one of the first to really try and blend these two genres together. And now we've seen a lot of things like even Cooties, which is essentially Shaun of the Dead in a way. Kind of that same humor horror. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. So to ask TJ now, your question is in the opposite. Let me frame it for you. What makes Shaun of the Dead a dated gimmick that just got lucky?
Well, you see, Alex, it's really simple. It is. It's a dated gimmick. It relied on early 2000s irony, humor, and like the zombie trend, like that's the only reason this movie came out is because movies in the early 2000s, they're like, yo, zombies are popular. Let's just do zombies. It was nothing fucking special. The editing was horrible. It was like fucking watching MTV Cribs. The fucking the awful comedy in it. It's dated, not clever at all. It's British. Ew. And I really think that if you like this movie, it's just the fact that it's the nostalgia keeping it alive. It's not timeless. It's not a masterpiece. It's just your nostalgia speaking.
Okay, so
do I get a rebuttal?
Yeah, you can rebut that.
I think that the British thing is really hard to refute, so I'm not going to refute that one. That one's true. But
so British, ew.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I think we've established on this podcast, like, it's not even offensive because they're not real.
Okay.
So, but the other things that you said about the humor being dated and just not overall not that great, I actually think quite the opposite. I think that the many parallels that these jokes had, a lot of callbacks, it was just very well crafted. The whole movie is one well crafted joke with several little segments and reoccurring bits that go through the whole film.
Okay, so you're fully okay with white people saying the word nigga?
What?
He hops out the car. What does he say?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. Oh, so you think racism is funny?
Absolutely. Especially when it's against you.
That's coming from you, Eric. That's kind of wow. Funny racism,
Look,
I guess. And,
I'm just saying. I'm sure if I open your TikTok,
that,
I guarantee if I open your TikTok, I see some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, okay, no, it's mostly cats.
We're not gonna go there, and the reason why we're not gonna go there is because we all qualify as people of color. So it's kind of irrelevant.
That's a new one for me.
Some of us more than others. All right, Alex. If you look at his
arm, we're ranking our colorness. Come on, brother.
Okay, all right. Don't
Eric,
go too far
the caucasity is you even got a white dog. Your son is white.
You even got a white dog.
Okay, but look, that's a very Mexican thing. I got a white crusty dog.
Nope, this is supposed to be a Chihuahua.
I love it.
It's a very Mexican thing.
Nope, supposed to be a Chihuahua.
I got a terrier,
fed only
man.
tortillas and random scraps of meat.
I got a white crusty terrier who just ate pasta off the ground not 30 minutes ago.
All right, I'm gonna have to interject here, and I will tell you, I'm giving Eric that point, and I'm going to tell you why. I can explain myself. The reason why I'm going to give Eric that point is because the reasons why you choose to not acknowledge the masterpiece of this movie are actually debunked or refuted by critics. So Edgar Wright's kinetic style of editing was actually one of the things that made it stand out. It was very unusual for a comedy to do series of cutscenes the way that they did. I also not only do I agree with Eric, but the audiences agree with Eric that it has, at least for 20 years, it has proved itself to be timeless. On X,
sounds to me like nostalgia keeping
on
it alive,
social media.
As my point says.
Well, I wouldn't say so, because when it came up for its 20th anniversary last year, it's still alive and well. There are still plenty of memes that are being shared around that talk about you've got red on you. That is still alive and well.
I'm not gonna lie, TJ. I think you're screwed this episode.
You think he's screwed?
Yeah, because if I got that point, then he's screwed.
Nah, he just got to pivot. TJ's quick on his head feet.
If that's the metric that we're following, that the audience is going to agree with me on everything here.
No, not everything. Because I'll tell you, a couple of the points that you hit on were only lucky. There are many weaknesses to the argument that this is a masterpiece. One of them
One of them is that it's a British fucking movie.
No, not that it's a British movie. I'm not gonna say British ew is the reason, but
British
you're
ew.
not wrong in that sense because it was limited to the UK. And because it was limited to the UK, it really didn't have that wide of a reach at first. It grew later. And because of its British roots, if you will, it didn't translate well into other languages, which is quite funny. So you weren't entirely wrong. It's just that Eric hit on several of the main points of what makes this movie stand the test of time. So that point goes to Eric. I don't think that I will not say that I think you are screwed in this episode. I don't think all of the answers are going to go like this.
Eric, this shit is rigged.
Let's see.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. It feels rigged.
It's fucking rigged.
I admire your work. That's
I
why I don't try.
I hope it is rigged. Okay, TJ, how does the film's humor make it fall flat and derail the zombie horror?
Well, Alex, I think that it derails it by the fact that, every scare that's included in this movie is immediately killed by a joke. It never commits to being scary or funny. I'm never afraid and I'm never laughing in this movie. It's just bad. I will admit, the sup niggas was funny. I forgot he said that. All right. It was funny, but I can say that because I'm black. Eric, you're white, so you can't really. And I would like to reiterate.
No, man, we're all people of color here. Woo!
The awkward British humor, it wears the whole thing thin, kind of ruins it.
Eric, your question in the same line. How does the film's humor make it a classic?
Like I said in my last answer, I think this entire movie is one big bit with a bunch of smaller bits within it. And if I like anything, it's a good bit. And I like that they commit to some of them. I think they follow the rule of threes in comedy pretty often with this film, where there's a lot of callbacks to moments that keep happening. The first one being when Simon Pegg's character, I already forgot his name. What's his name? What's my character's name?
Sean?
That would
Idiot.
No, that would.
You're fucking dumb.
Shaun
it's the name
of the Dead?
fucking
I forgot the
movie.
name of the movie for a half a
It's
second there.
Fucking Rodrigo of the Dead. What do you?
I just started thinking of all the names I could think of, and I couldn't remember what his name was.
Michael
I don't
of the
want to talk
Deceased.
anymore.
What the fuck are we talking?
Michael of the Deceased.
It's scene of the deceased.
Michael of the Deceased. The
Good.
Netflix spinoff.
Good stuff.
When Sean told the kid, "You're next time you're dead," and the next time he sees him, the kid's a zombie. And then when Ed tells their roommate, I forgot his name, like, next time I see him, he's a dead man. And then the next time they see him, he's dead. And then I can't remember if it happens a third time, but just the constant callbacks and like foreshadowing that's happening within this movie is not only comedic, but very well crafted. It's a well crafted joke, the whole movie.
Okay, TJ, your rebuttal.
I think you're confusing callbacks with comedy. In what way is calling back comedy? It's just repeating the same thing over and over. And it's not the rules of threes if it keeps happening more than 3 times.
I'm pretty sure that's a tenet of comedy.
Nope. That's the only rules of threes in this podcast I believe in is 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, and 3 what? See, he doesn't even
Seconds.
know, Your Honor.
3 seconds without WIS.
Damn! All right.
And that's why you should check out our merch on our TikTok shop, WIS merch. Go get that. Go get a hat. It'll keep you warm. Go get a hoodie. It'll definitely keep you warm. And your girlfriend will steal it. Because, yes, you do have a girlfriend and you're amazing because, of course, you do. You listen to our podcast.
Also, if you get the hat and you go down in a plane crash, then the hat will make you survive. Can we get in trouble for that?
Yeah, we could get in trouble for
We
that.
can definitely get in trouble. We gotta cut that from the record.
It will not. It will not work as a
And they are
flotation
fully
device
edible. If you
or
are
a
on an
helmet.
island, you can eat them, and they will keep you alive.
But it is
are they?
a blast protection hat.
Are
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. But if they go down, they're not going to be
how much
alive to sue us,
polyester
right?
is in
Yeah, but
our?
someone else could, like their family members. Like, what if their girlfriend actually does listen to the podcast?
What they have to prove it?
How much polyester is in
You
our stuff?
said it, it's
Polyester
recorded.
isn't edible. Cotton is.
Cotton's edible?
Cotton is edible.
I think
Cotton
we're
is a
getting off
plant.
track. The WIS.
Are they
talks
edible,
about-
or are we giving our people microplastics? Anyways,
Microplastics.
yeah, I
Okay.
think you're confusing what humor actually is. There was no originality in any of the jokes. They were all just the same jokes said multiple times and hoping you get a laugh.
Oh yeah, when did he say the N word again?
Also, British. Ew.
The British you said a few things in the comment, your original comment, TJ, that fall under a category in the weaknesses of calling this a masterpiece. The arguments against land on something called niche appeal, which is very true in this sense. This is a very hard thing to do in film, which is called cross genre. To be able to blend horror and comedy well is a very tough thing to do, and it is very niche. It's not widely accepted. That's why the argument to say that this is not a masterpiece still holds water, despite all of the evidence that I can give that would make it a masterpiece. The arguments are very valid, this being one of them. The jokes didn't land for everybody. The horror didn't land for everybody. It was not scary or funny to a lot of people. You actually hit almost exactly on this category, niche appeal. So TJ is going to get that point, and we can move on to the next question here. Eric,
Yes.
does Shaun of the Dead's emotional depth, for instance, Shaun's relationships with Liz and his mom, make it stand out?
Absolutely. I think his relationship with Liz was kind of like a lot of Reddit stories that I've been listening to, where he kind of got complacent and he gave up, and he was kind of fucking up a lot. And I think a little bit of it was definitely Ed, but I think he could take some responsibility for some of it too. And I think it was just a very real, just very real experiences and very real relationship that, you know, I've heard that people have had where, you know, they fall complacent into a relationship and, you know, it just, you kind of lose that spark and there's a lot of disappointment involved. But I think, and I also think that his relationship, I think less so with his mom and more so with his stepdad, where he like hated him. And then really quickly when it seemed like reality hit him like a truck. And all of a sudden it took a world-ending event to really snap him out of his complacency and realize he's got to step up. And that's when he realized that Philip wasn't a bad guy and that he was kind of being the jerk in this situation. And he even ended up crying when Philip died. And he was really sad about it. And of course, you know, the movie did immediately go to comedy again, but it perfectly intermixes these really emotional moments, and then they kind of lighten it back up again with the comedy, which I think is the perfect way to blend these two genres.
TJ, your question on the same line. Does Shaun of the Dead's emotional depth, like his relationship with Liz and his mom, is it just turning it into tacked on melodrama that weakens all the fun?
I find it incredibly funny that you would bring up the fact that it's perfectly mixed, as you say, and then you bring up the same scene where Philip dies and he's crying and it's supposed to be an emotional scene. It immediately cuts to a joke. He's gone. Where'd he go? Yeah, okay. Bro just lost his fucking father figure. I believe that the emotional beats in this are forced, abrupt, and there's like complete like tonal whiplash throughout this entire movie. It's just, hey, sad scene, joke, sad scene, and it's not at all perfectly mixed.
I think of this movie similar to Zombieland. When Bill Murray got shot in Zombieland, it was a sad and dramatic moment. And and then was immediately followed by Emma Stone asking him if there's any movies he would regret. And he goes, Garfield, maybe. And that's funny. And then they toss his body off the balcony. Very funny. Zombieland had a different, not so much of a slapstick vibe as Shaun of the Dead did. But all that to say, that is this genre. That is how you mix horror comedy, is you mix in these dramatic moments like Tallahassee crying about his child, saying it's a dog, then it ends up being his kid, and then he's drying his eyes with Monopoly money. So, there's that humor mixed in with the dramatic moments.
See, but what you're
and I guess you could argue the intensity of it, but like that is the genre.
Both of you did extremely well on hitting on the points that are referenced for this exact genre, what they're calling the zom-com movie. There are a lot of different complaints and what is the opposite? Compliments of the clashing of these emotions, specifically using Philip and Shaun, Shaun's mom and her death and Ed's death. The fact that they keep forcing this comedy with it, you both are actually hitting on the exact points that some people absolutely love about this, which I'm one of those. But there's many viewers who said that it distracted from the movie's progress. There was no need for it to be so emotional in such a funny movie, but in order to do that, you have to admit that it's a funny movie, TJ. So stop trashing it. Just prove your point. All you got to do is debate the point. But you did hit exactly on the point. There is a viewer relationship with this movie that they call it tone clash. And they did not find it favorable and they didn't make it anything that was more worthwhile. They didn't think that it added anything to the movie. However, I am going to have to give the point to Eric, because although that is a good point you made, TJ, it's not a foolproof point, because the overwhelming majority of critics loved the tone clashing of this movie. They thought it was endearing and felt like it actually helped to break up the monotony of the movie that's trying to just be funny and allowing it to actually have some heart. So but
exactly like I said.
I'm not railing against your point. I'm just telling you, you don't have to trash the movie to earn points on this. Just debate your point.
Do y'all hear this motherfucker?
Tomorrow.
How embarrassing, TJ.
Do you hear him?
Hear who?
Do you hear this guy?
Who? The host? They all hear the host.
It sounds like he's talking shit, host. I don't know.
I'm wondering.
I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to the survivor. Do you hear this guy? Isn't that wild? What just happened?
Is it wild? Or did I not? Did I not make the point well?
Not you. You in the back. You look. Wasn't that shit wild? All right, back to the show.
Back to the show. Okay.
I completely agree with what you're saying, Your Honor, and that was great.
We're going back to TJ for the negative. The Winchester pub siege is the film's climax. Does it prove that this is just that Shaun led them into a chaotic mess that falls apart?
Well, yeah. He didn't really have a plan. I mean, as you could see in the scenes where he's trying to come up with the plan, last resort, Winchester, of course, because that's the only place he wants to go to. It's a bad plan because, one, well, they didn't know it, but there's only one exit. That's one's blocked up by zombies, other one's blocked up by zombies. If bro wasn't there, they wouldn't know the fucking cellar was open, which I feel like he could have said sooner. Anyways, he's an idiot. Open windows, not to the falls, Shaun. It's because of the other dumbass. But again, once that's breached, throwing chairs and shit in front of it's not going to help. That really just that's not going to do anything for you. They turn the power on, which there's a whole ass jukebox there that randomly plays shit. Why would you not at least try to unplug that? No thought in that. Because it was such a back of his mind plan, it was last resort. Hey, let's go to the freaking Winchester. There's like a million zombies outside, so that's automatically less safe than where they were at her apartment. They could all just been up there. And yeah, everybody dies because of it, except for 2 people by pure luck and happenstance. There was no plan. He wanted to do what he wrote down on the fridge that morning, or before the morning when he passed out drunk. He said, "Visit mom, get my girl back, and then whatever." So that was his whole
Sort
plan.
my shit out.
His plan was to just get bitches. And I
think he said sort my life out.
So Eric could really learn something from this.
Okay.
Shots fired. Okay, all right.
And that's my point.
You're arguing from the character of Shaun, which is good. I'm not deducting anything from that. But I want to add a little bit to it because we're talking about the film being a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that this climax achieved what the director was going for? Right? Because the whole thing that he's trying to get you to, the whole story arc of Shaun is from a loser to a hero. Do you feel like he progressed us to that point?
No.
Well, by this climax.
Dude was not a hero whatsoever. He got saved by the military at the end. And as I said, everybody died because of his stupid plan, including his best friend, who's dead in a shed at the end. It was literally just chaos from the start. The only way he could get the zombies away is right? And then the zombies follow him, and what does he do? Lead them right back to another entrance that they weren't at before. So yeah.
All right. And so for you, Eric, did the Winchester pub's siege, being the film's climax, did it prove Shaun's genius as a survival story?
I think that Shaun did the best he could. And although I saw where he was coming from at the end, where he was kind of beating up on himself and he was saying that, he failed because so many people died. Although that's true, this is one of those situations where a lot of it is luck, and this is not really your fault. Now, the Winchester, they knew a place that did end up having a working gun, did have some pretty hefty doors. It took the zombies a good little while to get back in, and they would not have gotten in had Shaun not led them back to the back door. They weren't even coming in through the broken window. So I think it's safe to say that it was fine until all the drama with David and his girlfriend opening him getting pulled out and then her opening the door. If it wasn't for that, I think they could have secured the Winchester. I don't think a bar is necessarily the worst place to pick. I think your biggest concern is going to be food, but
Food.
I don't think because it's not going to have a lot of it.
Water.
I guess water too, but you have something you could trade, and I would argue that at least the Winchester was, if not defensible, it had supplies to move on to the next spot. So I don't think it was an awful plan. I think it was a decent plan, and I think he had the leadership qualities that were necessary to keep the group together. Because we saw when David tried to take on the role of leader, the group was really quickly spiraling. And it wasn't until it kind of seems like David was the chink in the armor for that group. He kind of caused the collapse of that group. I wouldn't say that it was Shaun's planning that did that.
Well, as Brandon says, they had beer.
They had beer.
Beer's made with water.
First,
so
you laugh at the
problem?
N-word coming from a white man, and then you say chink, bro.
Oh my goodness!
You made it that.
You're right. I didn't make it that. We're trying to cancel Eric this season. This is cancel Eric.
Apparently,
if you want to cancel Eric,
like
dial 1-800-cancel Eric, and you will probably call something that isn't us.
That's a very long phone number.
I like that. I always say that, especially if they had Coors Light, they had Mountain Spring water. They had plenty of water, but it's Britain, so they probably didn't have Coors Light.
No,
now,
fucking fermented piss, aka Guinness.
What I will say this. I even tried to lead your answer there, TJ.
I don't even get a rebuttal. I feel like I should be able to rebut him.
Oh, rebut.
There was no after plan. Oh, it could get to the next place. Bro didn't have a plan. He did exactly what bro said he would do, and hey, let's eat fucking peanuts and sit there. There was no genius. It was a chaotic mess. That's my point. It didn't lead him to anywhere that I feel like if the director wanted it to be to the point where he was a hero at the end, didn't work. His father figure died, his mom died, everyone fucking died. Was not a hero. Only thing he saved is his goddamn relationship, I guess. Unrealistic at that. No.
He had Ed at the end.
He was dead.
I just want to point out. They were playing video games together.
Yeah, Ed was playing with one
Friendship
finger.
never dies.
He was holding the
friendship
controller
never
and
dies,
poking
so.
it.
Look, I'd still play games with you if you were dead. I don't know why you're being dead phobic over here.
I know. I kind of saw the relationship between Eric and TJ in that scene. Sorry to say.
I mean, like, crazy that you would think that he's not Ed. The amount of
TJ
dumb
is that
shit
bad
he
at
does,
games.
dude. Okay, I'm that bad at games? No, you're not going to try to rage bait me, sir. I am great at games.
Okay, so TJ, I'll tell you, you struck directly on some points regarding survival strategy flaws, right? Of course, it was a terrible plan to go to the Winchester. That there's no argument there. Everybody knows that was the worst plan that they could have come up
I
with.
disagree.
They followed through with that plan because he had no other plan, right? They get to the Winchester. What I was trying to coax out of you, I was leading you in this answer here. I wanted you to talk about Shaun's growth through the movie. When he got to the Winchester, the fact is that he did start making tougher calls, right? But it was the flaw and the chaos of the filmmaker. I mean, he took 20 minutes to progress the story in the Winchester, right? You get to the Winchester and that's the final 20 minutes of a 99-minute movie. So your chaotic mess is absolutely relevant in that argument. It felt like he kind of struggled to move the story along from that point. Now, Shaun did grow. That was the point of the story. He did grow into being somewhat of a leader, even to the point where he hands Ed the gun at the end. I'm sorry, the rifle at the end, and says, "Here, take this." He's like, "You don't want it?" Nah, I can't hit anything with it. I'm absolute rubbish. Right? It's like it still being funny, but making tougher calls that, hey, let's make sense. Let's really make choices that make sense out of
Putting
this.
ego aside.
But you didn't have to argue the positive of this and still get the win by pointing out the pacing issues that the director had with this. And that was kind of the thing I was trying to coax you toward. We're talking about the filmmaking and that this is a masterpiece, not necessarily the survival strategy flaws, although there were many. And I thank you for bringing those up. And I think you are going to get that point because you actually stayed heavy on that aspect rather than missing the other aspect.
We are called Will You Survive the Podcast. It's what we do. Hey, guys, if you haven't listened to Will You Survive the Podcast before, we talk about movies in a survival-related tone. We watch all types of horror movies. We even watched Castaway. Go check out that episode. It was pretty fucking great.
45 minutes into the
I know,
episode.
right?
If you haven't heard WIS before.
Guys, if you're new here, go ahead and click the like button, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating. Thank you.
Double tapping that screen doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us out quite a bit. And you will find, for those of you in the live chat, you'll find us on all of your favorite podcasting sites, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio. We're even on Goodpods, where we were rated once again #1 in the top 100 monthly survival monthly chart. Go check us out on any of your favorite podcast stations. Will you survive the podcast.com?
We're killing it.
Yeah. Will you survive the podcast.com is up and live.
And until next
check that
time,
out,
stay
too.
alive. No.
Who hosts next episode?
So I do
Ooh,
want to
it'll be a
tell you,
surprise.
Eric, you hit on one main point of Shaun, which I appreciate, but TJ hit on two separate points. I was trying to lead him there because he's going really hard on the character instead of on the film. So to make sure that this is not going to be a tie, I'm only going to do the first three. So you guys already have these questions. So I'm only going to do the first
I think
three.
it'd be funny if it was a fucking tie at the end, but
Well, do you want to do four? We can do all four. TJ went last. So Eric, you'll go first on the lightning round.
Okay.
This is quick provocations just to keep things spicy. You ready?
Sure.
Best moment in Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, fudge. Oh, best moment in Shaun of the Dead when they're throwing the records at the zombies and they're picking which records they're going to throw and which ones they're not. Very funny.
Okay. All right. TJ, best moment. Or you could say overrated. The most overrated moment.
I would think that the most overrated moment would probably be when Queen is playing over the radio.
Oh. Yeah, you would think that.
And they're like doing 100% attack, 0% damage on the bar owner. Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
All right, next. Sean's dumbest move. TJ, you're gonna attack it. Sean's dumbest move.
The main move, taking everybody to the goddamn pub. Bro could have. There's like a million places. Like the UK isn't like huge, but there's a lot of places there that are 100% better. You know what? Dumbest move, not going with the group of people. Like was it his ex-girlfriend or something? I didn't really get the
high school buddy.
Yeah, should have gone with her.
Yeah.
Dumbest move. They look way more prepared, even though their group looked exactly the same.
Okay. Eric, Sean's dumbest move.
His dumbest or his best?
Well, defend it.
Oh.
Do you want to defend that move? Not going with Yvonne?
Not going with Yvonne. I think to defend this, I would say that you can't mix certain groups. You know how you have certain friend groups and you can't always mix those friend groups together because sometimes, someone fits a certain personality and you can't have too many of that personality in a group or the group kind of implodes on itself.
You laugh at the N-word.
So you can't.
Then you say chink.
You can't double these
and then you say don't mix? What's going on today, Eric?
We need to segregate our friendships again because
Wow.
if you add too many of the same personality to a friend group, it implodes.
Okay. Last two, you guys can pick which side you want to take, and you can be as real as you want with your own feelings. So, Ed, loyal friend or dead weight? TJ, go.
Dead weight disguised as comic relief.
Okay.
He's
Eric.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot. He doesn't think about his friends. Yeah. He crashed the fucking car. Dumbass. Guess we gotta take the Jag. Idiot.
I would say smart. First of all, crashing the shitty car so you could drive the Jaguar, gold move. That's a solid move.
Totally.
It's a zombie apocalypse. I agree with that. That is calculated and planned. That's not stupid. He knew what he was doing. But I would say, to answer the question, I think two things can be true at once. Although Ed was dead weight in a sense because he kind of did just let his life be kind of lackadaisical. But at the same time, he was that comic relief, and it did give... He was such a loyal friend. So although he was a bit of a dead weight and kind of didn't help in the more traditional sense, he was a very good friend to Shaun, in a sense that, like, when Shaun got broken up with, although it was a little bit Ed's fault, Ed was the one to be there for Shaun and dance with him and play electro music at 2 in the morning,
4 in the morning.
4 in the morning. That was Ed. So Ed's all the vibes,
Ed's
man.
a parasite.
So I think two things could be true at once, but he's the vibe.
Okay. And last but not least, would you survive in Shaun's shoes?
Yeah. They're slower than walkers in The Walking Dead. So probably, yeah. You literally just walk and they can't get you. The biggest way that these type of zombies can get you is like they kind of sneak around because they're so slow. So just go up into somewhere high like a fucking watchtower, type beat, and you can't get snuck up on.
Sorry to tell you, but our one of our subscribers, Sam, commented and said, "TJ, shush your mouth. You'll be Ed locked up in the shed by Eric."
Eric wishes he could try to lock me in the
and
shed.
she wasn't here when we said this before. That makes it comical.
Eric is literally 4'1".
Eric, would you survive in Sean's shoes?
And a half,
Absolutely.
Eric.
Absolutely, I would survive in Sean's shoes. These zombies are not that bad. I think there are way worse zombies, and I think that as long as you don't get flanked and as long as you just keep your head on a swivel, I think you easily survive this. I mean, Sean literally ran through a horde of them untouched, so I'll take my odds.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner.
Is it the one who didn't know the main character's name?
No.
No.
Our winner, after a tie and going through the lightning round, is, well, it was 2-2 going into this, and then the lightning round is 3-1 in favor of. Tune in next time to find out. No, I'm.
You know what? I literally
That'd be very
would do
funny.
that. Like, you don't understand? I would do that. I would. Just they gotta wait till next episode. It would be so fucking rude.
Yeah. Just see who's introducing the next episode.
So the winner is TJ.
Yes,
Bullshit.
dude. And I even have an outro line for this.
He literally planned to win. What is this?
Shaun of
This
the
is
Dead might
conspiracy.
have shambled into cult status, but under the laughs and edits, it's just a lazy, overhyped zombie flick that lucked into timing, not timelessness. And with that being said, I absolutely love this movie, and if you ever make me do something like this again, I will stab Eric.
Well, thank you for the winner's speech there. I will say that's a wrap on Shaun of the Debate. We finished that
Michael
out.
of the deceased.
I think this is the last
Eric
debate
argued for the
that
brilliance.
has to ever be done for this movie.
Eric argued for the
High-key,
brilliance of the movie.
We'll bring this back. 3
TJ tried
seasons
to
from
tear
now.
it down. But you all tell us who made the stronger case. And make sure you give us a rating on Spotify. I don't remember if Apple Podcast lets you rate. I don't use an Apple. Sorry.
Disgusting.
I don't know these things.
Just like British people. Apple, gross. Y'all are some followers.
I don't. But I will say, all of you who use your Apples, I ain't judging because I know that you're the majority of our listeners. So I thank you.
Oh, yeah. No, I love Apple. Apple's fun. Steve Jobs. Praise him.
Now, with all of that, TJ, you want to give them our socials?
You can check us out on all of the major streaming platforms for audio. You can check us out on TikTok. You can check us out on YouTube. We are posting there now. You can check us out on Instagram, Twitter at The Boys, I think. I don't do this enough. Y'all do this more.
The boys,
At The
WYS.
Boys,
At The Boys.
WYS, I think.
At WYS.
At WYS on Twitter. Do we do stuff on Twitter? I don't follow our Twitter. I should follow our Twitter.
Little by little, it's primarily become a like a behind the scenes.
Give me the log into that. I'm gonna start posting random tweets.
I just randomly send stuff out. One of the most common things that I'll do is when there are real natural disasters going on, I'll tweet things regarding those at that moment when I find out. But that's X is one of the fewer used of the socials.
Yeah, and if you guys would be so kind to, rate us and shit, let us make money off this, and we'll send money to people in disasters. We might even fly down and do something. Just
I'd
saying.
like to do that.
That'd be pretty
very
fucking
nice.
dope. Because we're great people here. Other than Eric,
We are
he's,
great
I
people
think we
here.
clarified, he's racist.
What the fuck? Only on days that end in day.
You can email us. That would be great.
I'm kidding. I'm not racist. I want to make that very clear.
The boys.
We love your emails.
Is it the boys at willyoursurvivethepodcast.com for our email?
That is it.
You can email
That
us
is
and
it.
it'll be great. Yeah. Oh, give me $1,000 and I will get your name tattooed on me. I've been saying this. Nobody's given me $1,000 yet.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like come on. It's such a good deal. You give me money,
I
get a tattoo.
Yeah. I'm shocked. Now wait, hang on. We never established this. Does the $1,000 cover the cost of the tattoo, or is it 1,000 plus the cost of the tattoo?
It's $1,000
Is
and
it
then
like
I'll
a
use
fine
a
print?
chunk of the 1,000 for the tattoo.
Okay.
So really like, 9, maybe 800.
1,000. That would get the J.
1,000 pesos.
My sister came into my fucking live. Stop bullying Eric. Justice for Eric.
Well,
Thank you. Thank
with
you.
that, I will say
Someone gets me.
thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate all of your time. We hope you'll come back and listen to us again. We hope you'll come back and listen again. Download all of our episodes. Make sure you go check them all out. Check out our TikTok. We have lots of stuff on there. Give us a follow. We're getting closer and closer to 5,000 followers. We hope to get up to 10,000 soon. So make sure you follow.
Also check out our gaming
And
TikTok.
until next time, stay vigilant, stay prepared, and stay alive.
Unless you are Jonathan of the Dead.
Michael.
Jonathan of the Dead. If you're Michael of the deceased,